A war hero has spoken out accusing Prince Harry of damaging the country and the morale of soldiers fighting for the king as he tried to bring down the royal family with a war of words on the streaming platform giant Netflix. The prince has been called absolutely appalling for his critique of the royal family and for his caustic 6-part Netflix docuseries, according to former Army Staff Sergeant Trevor Coult, who received the Military Cross in Iraq. The divide between Prince Harry and Prince William may never be repaired, according to eminent royal specialists in the UK and the US. I find it absolutely appalling that Harry and Meghan spend every waking moment trying to bring down the monarchy, said Sergeant Coult. Before being dismissed from service with post-traumatic stress disorder, the sergeant described how he'd seen colleagues perish on the battlefield and how his own mental health worsened. He emphasised, though, "We were ready to make these sacrifices because we knew what it meant to be doing what was right for the crown. Harry has to stop and think carefully about the harm he is causing to the soldiers, whose morale he is eroding by his continual criticism of the monarchy." After hearing what Harry has said, many veterans may be considering whether their sacrifices were worthwhile. Between 2005 and 2015, Harry served in the army for 10 years, attaining to the rank of Captain of the Blues and Royals of the Horse Guard Cavalry and participating in 2 frontline tours of Afghanistan. Since then, he has devoted all his time to helping veterans and injured service members, particularly through the Invictus Games. Before being released on medical grounds, former Staff Sergeant Coult, 47, completed 5 tours with the Royal Irish Regiment in Iraq and Afghanistan. In order to give other soldiers in a truck convoy time to flee from a machine gun ambush, he was given the Military Cross in 2006. Along with widespread condemnation of the royal couple in the UK, the tide is also turning in the US. Despite the fact that their Netflix series, Harry and Meghan, is already the biggest documentary in the streaming giant's history. TV chat show co-host and columnist Meghan McCain, daughter of late US Senator and presidential candidate John McCain, fumed after the latest shows. "Kiss America goodbye, Harry and Meghan. You finally lost us. We're covering our eyes, plugging our ears and screaming, 'Please God, make it stop.'" Miss McCain blasted the couple's refusal to name names or give specific details about their accusations of palace racism and bullying. She said, "That's their style, all tease and no payoff. We still don't know the identity of the royal racist. We have no tangible proof the royal family is institutionally racist. That's their approach," she added. "All tease and little result. The royal racist's identity is still unknown. There is no concrete evidence that the royal family practices institutional racism." In a review of reviews, even the vulnerable New York Times acknowledged that some critics have had their fill of the couple's account. The show was described as out of touch, self-absorbed, and cornier than a Hallmark movie by one critic. Jenny Bond, a former royal correspondent for the BBC, said it was filled with animosity. She was left wanting, much like her other critics. "You had 6 hours to dish the dirt. We needed names, places and dates." A reconciliation with the royal family, in her opinion, is now almost inconceivable. This was a study in envy disguised as a rom-com, a love story about a Hollywood actress who kidnapped her prince and whisked him away from everyone and everything he knew and held dear, according to royal author Margaret Holder. Hugo Vickers, a royal biographer, also said that the documentary series will be wildly believed, but not by me. Similar to the contentious smash The Crown on Netflix. Nothing of note comes out of Prince Harry, and after looking at some easily verifiable facts, I don't believe what his wife says. But Harry does have some backers, one of whom is a renowned general. The Prince's service in the army was lauded by retired Major General Tim Cross, a lay clergyman in the Church of England, who also acknowledged that he had cancelled his Netflix account and expressed remorse for anything that undermines the royal family. "Harry was a very good officer," he continued. "Both the soldiers and him were truly fond of one another," he continued. "I don't sense he's a very happy man, and I don't want anybody in that position expressing concern for the prince. My prayer is that he will live a contented life and that family divisions will be healed," Mr. Cross continued.